to rock your face off, man.
Yeah,
How you doing,
absolutely.
Ronnie?
Good.
Great to see you, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, who were those bands that got you excited about making music? When you were growing up listening to damn, records and everything, who was it? It was like, man, that just blew my mind.
The Beatles.
Beatles
I
did
saw
it
them on
first.
Ed Sullivan's show. I
Oh,
was
man.
7 years old. Saw them on Ed Sullivan's show. I always liked the sound of guitars. My dad always had country music playing in the barn, so I loved the sound of guitars. And when I saw the Beatles, and I mean, they had the sound,
melodies, the hooks.
the look, everything.
Oh,
They had the
man.
package deal, and I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And from there, I saw the Stones on Ed Sullivan, and I was a big Jimi Hendrix fan, and then Johnny Winter, a big Johnny Winter fan. Aerosmith, New York Dolls, a lot of the glitter rock guitar players, Mick Ronson. Paul Kossoff was a big influence, absolutely. And so those were a lot of my influences, and still are today.
Yeah, of
I
course.
mean, yeah, absolutely.
That music still feels timeless.
Yeah, Keith Richards is probably my favorite guitarist, along with Jimi Hendrix. I mean, I'm always trying
Can't
to.
imagine a world without Keith. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely
he's
not.
Outlive them all.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Uh-huh.
Now, what's your greatest memories about early KIX? Because you guys busted ass, man, playing all those local gigs, playing covers, doing your own thing. Finally get the record deal, but you still had to hustle. Finally you get a little MTV breakthrough. But what's your greatest memories of the tenacity of this band? Early on, just getting in there and playing it for the love of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the earliest memories were like when we would play 4 or 5 nights a week and tighten up as a band. And then I do recall the first time I was like, "What? We're only playing an hour set?" And it was like one of the biggest bands in the area. They were called Face Dancer. We were playing after them. We always played before them. I was like, something's happening here. And it was like our first album came out, and all the hard work and effort and being tenacious, as you said, it paid off. And there we were, like, wow. Our favorite band, Face Dancer, in the area of Baltimore, they were on Capitol Records. They were the biggest band in the area. We're like, they're playing before us? What? We went out and played an hour and a half set or an hour set, and I remember that. And then from there, it was just plugging away, going up and down I-95, and playing everywhere we could play on the East Coast, and then finally getting out here to play, and then moving it out across the country.
You remember the first time you came to Hollywood and LA and just, man, the palm trees and the girls, and I mean, what was your impression?
I was like, this is great, because I'm used to cold weather, and I always did like Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
sunny in January out here.
I lived out here for a few years, and I like it here.
Yeah.
But my roots are back east, and I live 50 miles west of Baltimore in D.C.
Okay. But the life of a musician, you take it to the people. They don't come
Yeah,
to you. You
right.
gotta go out.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Now, tell us what the most exciting thing is about Rock Your Face Off. What do you feel most proud that you're back at it? You're headlining M3. The Rockahomas, all this. People love straight ahead rock and roll.
Yeah.
And whether it's being on the radio or not, the fans are showing up. What do you feel most excited about the new album and just the fact that fans want to be served up this kind of music?
I'm so grateful that we've heard nothing but good feedback from the fans. They like the record, and it was rewarding to be able to go do a record that, we had always recorded songs that our previous bass player wrote, and I thought it was going to be hard to put a record together without Donnie, the bass player was in the band before, who I started the band with Brian early on in '77. And that went by the wayside. Mark had a lot of songs to contribute. Brian had songs, Steve had songs, and I was finishing up a CD with my other band, the Blues Vultures, so I only had like 1 or 2 songs to contribute, but maybe next time I'll have more time to get songs for them to hear. But yeah, Mark and Brian were the catalyst of getting this record together. They got the ball rolling, and then once all the rest of us were into it, and having Taylor Rhodes work with us was a blessing. He's a great producer. I totally respect the man, and he's a hard-working guy, and he's a good guitar player. So that also helped.
What do you learn from him? What are those skill sets he has that makes him so good?
He's quick at hearing what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Okay.
And he was quick to hear, like was working with the guitar players. That's too much here. That's not enough here. Maybe you should try this change on the guitar here. He was good like that. And I totally respect and love working with him.
Mm.
And he was great with Mark and the melodies and the song hooks. Absolutely.
Because we realize it's the songs that live on.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, you just a loud amp and energy, it feels good.
Yeah.
But what we remember 30, 40, 50 years later, like you're saying with Free and Hendrix,
Oh, yeah.
damn song.
Oh, yeah. All Right Now is still one of my favorite
Simple
songs.
song. Paul
Yeah.
Rogers' voice sounds better today than it ever has.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's something really special about a song and a singer
Yep.
and a melody.
Absolutely.
You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
So obviously it's a different kind of industry out there now, but you got a label, they're putting it out, you guys are out hitting these big shows,
Mhm.
you know, M3, looking forward to that. What advice do you give to those young bands? Because they don't know how it used to be. So we can't tell them like, well, hey kids, you know, you don't have record labels or a whole bunch of record stores anymore. But what advice do you give to them as far as you start out playing covers, but to be a band, you got to write original songs. You got to have your own style.
Absolutely.
What advice do you give to the young creative people that say, no, I want to do this. I don't care how hard it is.
I would, you start out playing the covers, learn what you can learn, absorb what you can absorb, but let it come back out in your own way. And just stick to your guns. Stick to what your heart and soul believes that should be played, and don't let record company or somebody, if a record company tells you they want you to be something else, go the other way. I wouldn't even fool working with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be true to yourself and true to what you love to do.
Yeah,
And you're,
come from the heart.
yeah, absolutely. Or nobody else is going to buy it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And persevere, and never give up. You're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
I'm 58 years old, and my daughter just turned 6 years old today. So I sacrificed having a family until I was 52 years old, and I don't regret it. I'm grateful to have my daughter and my wife, and I just tried to call her, wish her happy birthday, but it's 3 hours difference. She's in bed right now. So, yeah, there's going to be, you need to make sacrifices. You need to persevere. You need to stick to your guns, stick to your passion, your heart and soul, and learn from the best. Learn all those licks from your favorite guitar player. Absorb it, but let it come back out some other way.